Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Citizen Sleeper. When last we left off, we were going to check in on Feng here. We did some hunting of the hunter, got them locked up in their own mind, and we also started being hunted by this fool over here, which we got one more cycle to get. I think we have to probably get 100 credits in order to pay his tab. This is not going to be good. Hopefully Feng can actually help us get away from him. That is my hope. We've got this all set up. Fingers crossed. Let's see what happens. As you arrive, Feng comes striding towards you, taking you by surprise. Let's go, Sleeper. He puts a hand on your shoulder and turns you back the way you came. Go where? To see Hardin Hurst. He gives you a sideways glance. Isn't that what you're here for? He steps into the passageway, guiding you down ring toward the shipyard. Sorry for the hurry, but we have something of an opportunity. That data you ripped, well done by the way, he grins, tells me Hardin is making a rare inspection of the sidereal horizon this cycle. It's the perfect chance to confront him outside of that compound he hides in. Feng takes a sharp turn into a dimly lit side passage. Sidereal horizon? Still catching up? That's the massive colony ship being built out on the shipyard, biggest commission Haven Age has ever had. Feng slows and slips into a dark service tunnel where somewhere a water pipe drips in the black. It's him, Sleeper. The same Hardin Hurst. Our worm ripped out decades of records that mention him by name, an entire trail of documentation from the first days of the Solheim collapse until now. He wrote out the whole thing, slipped into Haven Age when it first broke off from the Union. He paces in the tunnel, a hand rubbing at the back of his head. I need you to understand something about him, I need you to understand something about Solheim, Sleeper. I don't know what you know about the collapse, but it wasn't as instant as it sounds. It wasn't like Solheim was here running the station one day and the next Erland's Union took power. Back then, Solheim knew this place was slipping away from them. As the palladium market collapsed, they tried to keep the contractors here working. The pay got smaller, the costs higher. People like my parents were forced to work non-stop just to keep a berth on the station and water in their tanks. Solheim squeezed every last worker until the accidents were coming in non-stop. And as new waves of contractors came in, desperate to work, Solheim welcomed them in, taking bribes instead of checking pilot licenses. The whole time, Solheim was folding up, dragged into court cases into the central systems, while this severed limb of a station still desperately tried to take all it could. The riots came after the collision at Dock 2. A young pilot, his MEV overloaded with palladium, miscalculated his trajectory and took out a section of the ring. Hundreds died. Thousands panicked. My parents told me people were terrified and the blame fell squarely on Solheim. People like to tell stories about Erla and how he brought the factions together, spoke to the crowds, turfed out Solheim. Maybe that's true. But my mother, pregnant with me, locked herself in the MEV and welded it to the dock while my father joined the improvised crews trying to seal up the ragged edges of the gap. He never came back. Feng pauses in the dark. They sealed it up, though, and by the time they did, Solheim was gone, abandoning every one of us to the black. Apart, Feng finally turns back to you now, his eyes burning, from shits like Hardin. Shits who held their place, rode it out, and slipped into the new structure like nothing had changed, standing shoulder to shoulder with those they had exploited at every step. Feng starts walking again. That's why I can't just let him strut around the shipyard. This time his past catches up with him. How is he still alive? Clearly you don't know much about executives. That kind of power comes with certain benefits. Feng rejoins the main passageway, which is now wide and glass-roofed. Through the ceiling you can see ships in mid-construction, their flanks lit by the flashes of plasma torches. The entrance to the shipyard is ahead. This is crazy. Feng turns to look at you. Don't come then. I won't force you. You stand across from each other in the corridor. What is it then, Sleeper? You coming or not? I'm coming. Feng grins. Let's go show this shithead some consequences. He strides to the shipyard entrance and pushes through the doors. A web of corridors led through the complex, snatches of the construction bays always appearing through the windows. Ships are suspended like whale corpses, skeletal, imposing. Feng seems to know exactly where he is going, and before long you cross into a huge dry dock locked to one side of the sidereal horizon. A network of platforms and scaffolding cling to the ship's hull, filled with workers and equipment. The sound is stretched out by the vast space so that the welding, cutting, and sealing seems to come from everywhere at once. Both you and Feng spot them at the same time, a group walking slowly across a gantry, and at the front, two men, one gesturing towards the ship, and the other, stick-thin, cleanly dressed, with a shock of gray hair. Hardin. You and Feng say his name in unison, and Feng sets off the upstairs. Sorry. You and Feng say his name in unison, and Feng sets off up the staircase to the gantry, with you following behind. As you come to the same level, the group is passing closer, the foreman gesturing to the work being done through the dock, and Hardin nodding along. Hardin Hurst! Feng shouts across the noise, taking you by surprise. His voice bounces and comes back in a rippling echo. The figures turn. Yes? Hardin asks quizzically, raising an eyebrow. He glances between you and Feng, and you see his gaze linger on your body, unsure of why a sleeper might be in this place. You are a traitor, Hardin, a Solheim executive who tried to hide here, among its victims. Feng's voice is steady, strong. You stand for everything the Eye was rebuilt in the shadow of, everything Erland stood for, everything Haven Age stands for. You have no place on this station. For a moment, stillness descends on the group, as if everyone was held in place by the rattle of construction. Hardin laughs. Well, good to meet you too. He glances around at those around him. Some are smiling, the others nervous. You are from the systems branch, are you not? Asks Hardin, inspecting Feng's clothing. Feng turns to the foreman. You need to call your security. This man is a corporate agent. The foreman glances between Feng and Hardin, his hands drumming at his sides. Hardin leans towards him and says something inaudible. The foreman nods. It's true. As you begin speaking, Hardin turns his attention to you. And what would a sleeper know about that? You accuse me of being a corporate agent. What are you, if not exactly that? He looks around at the group who are already eyeing you with suspicion. You are a product of Essenop. You have no place in a Haven Age shipyard. Who knows what signals you are sending back to your makers? A murmur of approval runs through the group. Feng holds up a stick of memory. You guessed right. I am systems, and I have records that link you directly to Solheim right here. He turns to the foreman again. So once again, I am asking you to take this man into the custody of the shipyard. The foreman remains still. Hardin's voice is calm, measured. If you have such data, why hasn't it been submitted at the members' meeting for proper review? He shakes his head. I have nothing to hide. Unlike a man who does not announce his name, who enters my shipyard with corporate property in tow, and tries to turn my own men against me. You hear it now, the echoing sound of boots on walkways, coming from all angles at once, and then settling behind you. Please, says Hardin, submit the data through the correct channels, then we can talk. For now, however, you must leave. He gestures behind you to the security detail, their hands on boxy black sidearms at their sides. Feng spits. Hardin, you shithead. You can't wriggle out of this one. A security officer draws their weapon and levels it. Feng turns and stares him down. I'm gonna calm Feng down. You look at Feng. He shakes his head and puts a hand on your shoulder. Let's go, says Feng, and he pushes through security, heading back down the walkway. Once security has walked you out of the shipyard and nudged you back into the corridor, Feng picks up pace. You try to keep up as he slips into the shadows of an entrance. Feng is grinning ear to ear. You know, Sleeper, sometimes people are exactly how you expect them to be. Something pings in his pocket and he takes it out. On the slate, a web of connections starts drawing itself out, stretching to a set of points around the ring. Got him, mutters Feng. What's going on? Hardin is doing what any sneaky shithead always does, calling his friends. We are tracking his outgoing messages. Feng's grin looks ghostly in the uplight of his screen. The old ways are best. Spook 'em good enough, and they'll give the game away. He jabs at the slate, and you see the web is being drawn over a map of the ring, lines bouncing from point to point. All these dots? These are Hardin's buddies. The one he's messaging right now, and we are going to... the ones he's messaging right now, and we are going to find them. So that was on purpose? Of course. Hardin isn't working alone. We need the full set or nothing. Feng glances around and slips the slate back into his pocket. We'd better split for now, Sleeper, but this is exactly what we need. Good hunting. With a pat on your shoulder, Feng drifts away, back into the flow of people around the shipyard entrance. You watch him go, unsure whether to be angry or impressed. Well, a little bit angry because I want to be free of this other guy. So I gotta wait 4 cycles for Feng to be back. Dang it. Alright, upgrades available. What do we got? We got 1 point. Ugh. Being able to use scrap for self-repair would be really good. But that's 2 points. We can use a point to get our -1 figured out. Or we can put a point into it so that we can have an extra point there. Let's see here. Part of me wants to wait, because I'm pretty sure the repair part is this top part, and hunger obviously is the bottom part. So if we can actually repair ourselves, it's going to be a lot cheaper than trying to continue to go back for this, you know, this stuff. Stabilizer. Alright, so nothing for me to do over here. We need to get her a ship mind, but we only have 1 piece of a ship mind. If I get to know Emphis, I need to actually get Griol caps. Fang needs to help me with that. Ethan needs to run up a tab. And we need to buy a vial of stabilizer. Alright, let's go ahead and start. Problem is I need money. That's going to be primary. If I try this, potentially I'm going to be losing energy. So why don't I just buy a little food. And then try my hand at this, because I think I'm going to risk this one and then save the 6 for maybe something else. Yeah, let's run the risk. Come on. Hell yeah. Neutral outcome. That's all we needed. Lemon Mina. From the walkway, the sidereal horizon looks impossibly vast. A landscape of plating and frames. All along her flanks, torches flicker, drones maneuver, arc lights glint. The sense of scale of industry is both stunning and strangely unsettling. From the walkway, the sidereal... Oh, sorry. I already read that. She's quite beautiful, I think. You turn to see a figure a little way down the walkway leaning at the railing. He is thin, ragged, his work gear poorly fitting and loose. The torches of the sidereal horizon flicker in his eyes as he turns to you. Lem. He leans back from the rail, revealing a child standing beside him, staring out at the ship. And this is Mina. Hi, Mina. She stares and tucks herself behind Lem, who dutifully picks her up. She's a little slow to trust, aren't you, Mina? She buries her face in the folds of his overalls. Mina looks out from Lem's chest, a dark brown eye twinkling among the rough material. You working on her, then? Lem asks eagerly, gesturing to the vast ship, or just admiring. He shifts Mina's weight to his other arm. Working. Me too, me too. He flashes a Haven Age pass. I know it's just to look at you. I mean, he stumbles a little over his words, not wanting to be misunderstood. I mean, you look like a worker. She's Mina and I's ticket out of this place. Our escape vector, so to speak. The ship? You haven't heard? Anyone who takes a Haven Age contract on the sidereal horizon will be entered into a draw for the transit support crew. He smiles. We won't get to sleep the journey through, but a couple of decades of service will be nothing for me and Mina if it means landfall on a new world. He winks. What's transit support? Uh-huh. Someone needs to stay awake to keep the thing running. He straightens up, stretching his back. That's a colony ship, friend. The Lawless Foundation is sending thousands to settle a system well outside the reach of the core worlds. It'll be a totally independent colony. No surrogacy, no corporations. What's the Lawless Foundation? Oh, they're Haven Age's client, yeah. Some wealthy project from the core systems, interested in independence and self-sufficiency and all that. They hired the whole shipyard out, helped wreck it and everything. He strokes me in his hair. Someone else's dream, I suppose. But it doesn't mean people like me and Mina can't tag along. Mina responds by pushing his hand away. Daddy, she whispers. Food, pulling an exaggerated grumpy face. She glances furtively at you and she plays with a set of dog tags that hang from Lem's neck. I'm just chatting a little, Meanie. Give Daddy a sec. He turns back to you and you suddenly notice how tired he looks. I'm not on the Haven Age crew yet, but I'll work my way in. You can do it too, friend. We have to stick together. He smiles a little shakily, and you wonder how long he's been working to break into the official shipyard crew. I'm working on it. He looks out at the sidereal horizon, as if trying to pull energy from those flickering torches from the vast hull. We've got to hold out, okay? You aren't quite sure if he's talking to you. That's how it works. While he stares out, Mina catches your eye curiously. Do you agree, Mina? She straightens up and meets your eye. Daddy loves me, she says it stubbornly, daring you to question her. Lem smiles and lifts Mina. That's it. We hold on. He smiles sheepishly at you. We are just a couple of softies, isn't that right, Mina? He sets her down, standing by his side. Then she clings to his leg. Gotta go feed this one. He pats her back. Maybe see you on a shift, huh? He turns, and they walk down the walkway away from the shipyard. You see them talking, and then a moment later, Mina turns around and stops. See you, robot! Her shout echoes down the walkway, and she flashes you a parting smile before running to catch up with Lem. You watch them a little before you turn back to the impossible scale of the sidereal horizon. A ticket out. Ugh, might be a good idea. New drive discovered. New drive discovered. Oh, got it. Drive. Win a sidereal ticket. So is that working in the shipyard here? Fragment supply. Sophisticated tech is rare in the eye, so the shipyard is happy to pay for ship mine fragments so they can dismantle and reuse. I don't want to do that, because I really need those. Tracking Yatagan. A slate in the office advertises that Haven Age are looking for informants on gang activity in the eye. They will pay. That sounds like a good idea. Because I've been collecting all these. How much are you paying? 10 cryo. Not bad. So we're at 57. I'll sell a couple off. Alright. And unit assembly. So this must be the sidereal horizon. Okay. So this is safe, meaning that we're going to get 12 cryo almost no matter what. And it could give us junior tech. The systems team is looking for new members. Prove yourself a reliable tech, and you are in. And this one, structural engineer. The sidereal horizon is assembled block by block. You have a spot supporting the weld team. A good place to prove you know how to put a ship together. So we actually have both of these. I'm thinking since we've got a safe bit here, I'm gonna go for this and see what happens. Dang it, negative outcome. I still got 12 cryo, but I put a negative block on the quality control. Shipbuilding spots in the sidereal horizon are hard to come by. Poor work will see you dropped from the roster, so I only have 2 more shots at that. Good to know. Let's see here. Ambergris, I'm still trying to find the ship mind. I wonder, can I toggle this and maybe this will help me find the mushrooms that we need. That just says to bring them to him. It's not very useful. Okay, so we've got Minji Express, Noodle Factory and Delivery. I could deliver for money. Let's see here. What do we got? We gotta get their trust here in the low end. If I do this, I'm gonna get +2 low ender, so I think I'll do this one because I've got a 6 to spend. I have a feeling that this is going to be a situation where if I'm looking for... Oh, I found something else. What do we got here? Tavalla Room is in the Timbre houses some of the best players in the low end, the serious high stakes only play. Interesting. So I need to actually have something into it in order to play. Ooh, tracking Haven Age. You've heard that the Yatagan Enforcer based here has been paying low-end residents for information on Haven Age movement. Well, I just so happen to have data on Haven Age. Don't I? Are you paying more than the other guys? Nope. The exact same. But still. I mean, push comes to shove, I probably should put a lot of money into that. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and just max out my food here so that I can get as many dice as possible. And I'm gonna end this cycle. Okay, I misunderstood that. So, hunger does not have to do with the dice. The energy has to do with the dice. So my energy's in the middle, so I only have 3 dice to work with. Okay. Oh boy, good to know. That being said, I've got a 2, so I wonder if there's something I can hack into. Might be a good... I mean, I can get agent information that gives me at least 3... Sorry, not 3. Gets me 10 credits. So that would be good. There's nothing else to hack into other than that. So I might as well hack what I can. What about this one? So far, not looking promising. We need a 2. Come on, 2. There we go. Got 5 cryo from that. Alright, data it is. Perk Icebreaker. Wow. There we go. So we're no longer being hunted by the hunter, so that's good. But unfortunately, I think I have to go here to pay off his stuff. I've got scrap components I could sell, but I think I'm going to hang on to those if I can. Let's go ahead and go to the low end. We got another 6 here. I could gain energy from that. That might be really helpful. Just means that this is going to take longer. But maybe I'll get lucky. I'll get another 6 next time. Come on, go! Okay. So I got a little bit of energy back. Oh, I did get 2 low ender. Okay. So they just didn't highlight that. Let's see here. What is this? What does that say? Derelict unit. Abandoned housing unit. This half-built unit looks lost, forgotten. A project that never made it. With enough scrap, you might be able to seal it up. Hey, I might have a new home. That could be cool. So I'm glad I didn't sell the scrap. Let's go ahead and plop that sucker in there. There we go. Alright, so trying to think about how to get the money back. I think I'm just going to go ahead and sell all the data I've got, because so far I don't see that I'm going to have anything that I need to use it towards. And it seems pretty easy enough to go in and get some more. So that might be an easy way to just kind of pay my way. So now I've got 125 credits. Assembly. I think I'll come back to that. Where's the other one? Haven Age officers. That's what we want. Data. Yatgan. Yatagan. I say it differently every single time. Yatagan, Yatagan, Yatgan, Yatagan. Yatagan actually sounds much nicer. Yatagan. Okay, so we've got 1-4 left. So doing either of these gains me cryo. But, well, a 5 means I'm not going to get a negative, so that's good. This one's interface, though. Engineer might give me scrap, though, which, because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, let's take that back. If I'm not mistaken, where are you? Chance to gain random scrap item on engineer actions. So yeah, I'm gonna go for the engineer one just to see if we can get some scrap. Some scrapola. Alright. Positive or neutral? Okay, I got a 12 cryo and welder's mate, which is what this is. Okay, cool. Good, good, good. Alright, so I've got... Looks like I got 2 cycles to get this done. So I'm gonna wait until next cycle, which might be dangerous. I'm gonna wait till next cycle and then pay it. Because if I pay it now, the cycle might go quicker. I might get an extra day on it. We'll see. Alright, so I've got 2 6s. Man, this is good. Alright, let's start here. Let's pay this off first. How can someone drink this much in 6 cycles? Ethan hasn't held back while he has been in the compressor, so that's 58. Not actually a bad tab overall. I was expecting like 100. But, oh god. I can't believe you just did that. Ethan's mocking laugh comes from across the bar. You look across to see him leaning across it in a pool of light, empty glasses and spilled liquids glinting around him. It's always dark in the compressor, but this cycle the place is packed, a load of spacers mixing with the locals. Usually they run. Nathan spins a glass on the bar, or they go spend their savings on some local heavy I have to put down. They don't pay. I'm gonna walk away. Ethan gets to his feet. The glass falls and smashes, but he doesn't seem to notice. You think that's it? 1 round of drinks and we're even, sleeper? Come on. His hand comes to rest on the butt of his handgun dangling from a chest holster. Stop. Ethan laughs hard and the people around him turn to see what's happening. I told you already about begging. I'm a freelancer, sleeper, just like you. We both signed a contract with S&R, didn't we? The difference is that my word means something. He closes the gap, stumbling a little. What did you think? You could just run away from your contract? Your debt? You could just steal that natty little body of yours and take it for a joyride? Play human for a cycle or 2? I'm nothing like you. That's what I'm saying. Ethan is addressing the bar now, having noticed the attention from the other patrons. You are a coward. I'm a professional. Though I should thank you, Ethan nods, his head heavy, for giving me such an easy job. I'm used to outlaws, you know, real bounties. If I knew catching sad little escapees like you was so easy, I would have changed clients ages ago. Someone shouts from the back of the bar for Ethan to shut up. He holds up a finger in that general direction without turning around. Shoot me or let me leave. Oh, I see. Toughening up here. He gestures wildly at the crowd. Thumbs up or thumbs down, folks. Most turn back to their drinks, no longer interested in this tired show. Ethan mutters insults as he walks back toward the bar. Ethan sits heavily back down on his stool and searches through his glasses for one with something left in it. The thing is, Sleeper, I can find you anywhere. It's actually wild that you haven't figured it out. That body ain't yours, and it will always betray you, no matter what. He finds a glass and downs the contents. So please, go. I'll catch up with you whenever I need another. He laughs and taps the bar for a fresh drink. Look at yourself. Give it up, Sleeper. I'm done teaching you for today. He settles his head to the bar and closes his eyes. I'm sick of you. Go find a job. You turn on your heel and are out of the cloying dark of the sweet stench of the compressor. You walk hard and fast down the walkway, anger driving your footfalls into the metal of the rim like hammers. Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. Alright, self-repair. I think this is what... This one will help us. Here's hoping. Can I do that without ending my day? Let me see about... Self-repair. I need... Dang it. I need components. I need scrap. Admission from the shipyard? Okay, right. So I can continue working in the scrapyard. I need to find two more ship mine fragments. That's part of the problem. I could offload containers, but that's going to take my 6 down to a 5, so that's not as nice, unfortunately. I could do a bar shift. That gains me 15 cryo if I do it with the 6. And then I can have Tala got my back, you know? That's an option. I feel like I just need like one more cryo so I can... I don't know. I need cryo or I need scrap. Let's play the exchange. Come on. There we go. 19 cryo. Okay. So let's just go ahead and do this. Sabine is selling off a case of stabilizer by vial. You haven't been able to talk with them since your last visit. Alright. Let's spend the money. Let's stabilize. Oh. Let's stabilize later. Got it. As you quickly leave the surgery, eager to be away from Toshiro's glare, you notice something wrapped around the stabilizer vial clutched tightly in your hand. You open your hand and a thin film marked with holes and sigils unrolls from around the vial. At one end it has a hard metal strip, a handle. Inspect the film. You hold the cloudy film up to the light. It is perforated with an ornate pattern of holes. You can make out a word among the markings. Passkey. Is this an entry key for somewhere? Inspect the handle. The metal handle is worn and pitted, but you can see a set of numbers imprinted into it. 207F, and then crudely scratched into the handle at some later date. Low end. For a moment, you consider going back to the surgery to return the key and then quickly think better of it. Did Sabine want you to have this? Or is Toshiro passing along a message? Time to head to the low end and find out. Well, hell yeah. Okay. Upgrade point. Let's see, should I go for predictive, for Intuit? Endure. I think I'm gonna go for not predictive reasoning, but go for one more in Intuit. And then I think we'll work on the other two, obviously. Okay. Cool. Alright, so now what? Do I have enough to buy some stew? Yes, I do. I'm gonna buy myself some mushroom stew. Good. I'm all full there. And Unit 207F. You find the entrance to the apartment, its passkey symbol obscured beneath layers of graffiti. Who lives here? The lock clunks open, the metal door swinging inward into the dark. As you push the door open, the automatic lights flicker on inside the apartment. They reveal yellowing plastic panels, the curved shape of wall-mounted utility units, the detritus of a routine life arranged on every surface. You step inside, clicking the door shut behind you. The amber light of the aging fixtures glaze everything with pale orange. The work surfaces hold a variety of objects, indistinct in the dull lighting. A pale blue light drifts from a doorway at the end of the room. I'm suspecting the doorway. You cross the cramped utility room with its auto-wash dispensers, water closet, towards the doorway. Through the doorway is a dark, warm room lit only by the faint glow of a terminal screen. Let's inspect the room. There's a bunk tucked into the wall, the blankets ruffled, a wall desk glitters with rows of vials and containers. A briefcase lab sits open, loaded with rows of reagents and compounds you do not recognize. In comparison, this room is clean, ordered, controlled. This kind of sounds like Sabine lives here. As you approach, there is a crackle from somewhere in the dark. Sleeper. Sabine's voice shakily echoes through the apartment. Welcome to my home. Cha-ching, got it right. I'm sorry I can't be there. I have had to make alternate arrangements. You hear rattling noises, static. I was able to record this message, but I don't dare show my face. Something is happening within Yatagan. I no longer trust them. Their voice becomes distant, slipping behind the background noise. I have something to ask of you. I want you to get me out. Yatagan were supposed to hide me, to protect me. After everything happened, I was desperate. And then after that, I was too tired to care. A noise like waves over the recording. But I'm done with them now. I want out. Screw the dead. But I need insurance. Something I can hold against them. I have my suspicions, but I can't be sure. I need information. And as you know, you need me. A pause, something clicking in the dark. This isn't a threat. You have to understand my position here. Another pause. I know sleepers. I have been here before. I can help you, but not with Yatagan's noose around my neck. Get me data. Get me information. Get me something that I can use against Yatagan. Then I can get out, and you can get what you need. Please. Just figures. I sold all my Yatagan data, and now she needs it. Freaking hell. Waves of static cut into Sabine's voice. Bring it here to my terminal. I'll get to it when I can. You look around the tiny room and try to imagine Sabine living here, working at the desk, sleeping in the bunk, blinking into the terminal in the dark. The recording cuts to static, filling the room with its white hiss, then silence. Let's access the terminal. You sit in front of the humming terminal and hit a few keys. Sabine has left an access port open, but the rest is encrypted, locked away behind passcodes. It seems Sabine might not trust you as much as they want you to think. Who does Sabine need to hide from? And what debt do they owe to Yatagan? You try to assemble the pieces, but too many are missing. The only thing you know is that without stabilizer, your body will die. You glance at the briefcase lab on the desk, its glassware glinting in the dark. You turn away and leave, the door clunking shut behind you. Back in the corridor, you notice the scrawled graffiti of a blade on the opposite wall. Yatagan. You feel yourself being drawn into something you don't quite understand. Yikes. So my new drive is to get Sabine out. Let's go and track that. Get Yatagan data. Of course I need Yatagan data. There's a derelict unit. I could build a home. It could be a home for me. Alright. So I need 3 bits of data. Let's go ahead and hack into the system here. Let's see, is there any other spots? No. Alright, let's see what we got. Do we have something with a 2? Nope. Do we have something with a 2? Nope. See, the same ones I looked at before. So it's good to know that the numbers don't change. I could hack Haven Age. Actually, probably should hack Haven Age, because I can always, you know, sell their stuff. So let's go and do that. Plus I gain 5 cryo. All good stuff. 2 more days for Feng's Bay. Do I want to spend... Eventually I'll probably go for the free, what is this called? The free spoke. Now, I think the real question I got now is, do I want to spend my 6 finishing the low end? That might be a good option. 6 finishing the low end, or do I do 6 on the unit assembly for the engineer and hope that I get... hope that I get scrap. I think since I don't necessarily need the scrap tonight, I think I'm going to go for the low end and move this progression forward. I could actually do... Why don't we do this? We'll put this in engineer and see if I get some scrap this way. See if I'm lucky. Nope. But I did get energy. Alright. Okay, what is that? Caster, curious data fence. You cross between 2 walls of units, one of the cavernous streets at the center of the low end. The pressurized bridge is full of the clack of tavla. Tavla. Yeah, pronounce it however you want, right? It's full of the clack of tavla, the sounds of children, the whir of air filters. Sleeper. You turn to see a man sitting at a tavla table alone. Somehow untouched by the hustle and bustle of the people around, he gestures to the stool on the opposite side of the table. Sit. You sit at the metal stool and he starts setting out the board with counters, or at least the filter caps low-enders typically use in their place. Caster, he says by way of introduction, looking over his glasses. Night or day? He asks, gesturing at the caps, crudely sprayed white and black. Night. He nods. The black counters are already on your side. Let's begin. You both take a plastic die each, pitted and worn, and roll to determine who starts. Caster rolls a 6. You have a 4. I lead. He smiles, and begins to move his first cap precisely along the board. Play passes back and forth between you, the dice changing hands as the caps spread along the board. As it does, Caster speaks, eyes not leaving the caps. It is unusual to see a sleeper on the eye. That's why I wanted to play you. You take your turn rolling a 5 and a 6. Play carefully. After all, a sleeper's mind must be somehow different to a human one. Being emulated, I mean. As Caster talks, you build up a wall of caps, stacking them safely across the board. Progress is slow, but you remain unexposed. I don't mean to offend you. Caster meets your eye. I merely see that you are by definition different. What has been subtracted in the emulation? What has been added? He slides a single cap onto an open point, a risk and an opportunity. He hands you the dice. Do you ever think about this, sleeper? About what you were before and what you are now? Never. You roll a double 6 and slide your caps out of the danger. Caster sucks his teeth. The running game, I understand. Why look back when you can look forward? He rolls the dice and strikes your exposed cap, sending it back into the beginning. But there are some limits, sleeper. We all come from somewhere. You more than any of us. The past you is not just an idea, a concept for you. It is a living, breathing person. He looks up over his glasses, his eyes bright and wide. You split from them like a shadow splitting from its caster. They may be sleeping now, yes, but one day they will awake and carry on with their lives unaware of your fate, no matter what yours is. He hands you the dice, smiling. You are a branch severed from the main trunk, an offshoot who refuses to die, so to speak. You roll again under pressure now, trying to slip your caps out from under Caster's before he solidifies control of the game. So what I am curious about is, how do you see yourself in all of this? Caster asks. What does this tangle of truths make you? Free. Yes. Caster looks away through the glass to the crowded units on all sides. I can see that. Your life as an escapee was never meant to happen, yet here we are. He starts removing caps, his home board now full. Your life is an offshoot. It can go anywhere from here. You try a few more rolls, attempting to get back into the game, but Caster clears his home board with a sense of the inevitable. He has known he was winning for a while. I feel I may have pushed too far. He slides another cap from the board. I apologize. My curiosity has a habit of getting the better of me. You roll to return a cap to the board, but all the spaces are blocked. Casper claps his hands apologetically. You play well, really. Your weakness is not your game. He smiles warmly. We have much to learn from each other. He slides his glasses back up his nose and sits back. I feel we could share knowledge, ideas, perhaps even data. His eyes glint with that last word. To our mutual benefit. He slides his final cap from the board. It is over. He has won. I'll see. Please, I don't want to make you uncomfortable. He holds up his palms. My intention is only to help you endure here, and if I am able, feed my curiosities. The game over, you notice the bustle of the walkway once more. The call of the children, the deliveries, the arguments and reconciliations. They wash over you as you stand and leave, Castor nodding goodbye as you do. Crossing the walkway, you replay the moves of the game in your mind, looking for an opening you are sure was there. Alright. I like him even though I don't trust him just yet. But I can fence data? Oh, there we go. I can fence any kind of data. But like, if I was put this in, it doesn't say what I would get for it. Oh, I need to input 5 Haven Age data. Well, here, I don't need the Haven Age data. I mean, I'm sure I'm going to need it at some point, right? Oh, I need to input it all at the same time. Is that right? Must be. Interesting. Okay. It's not like in other times where the tab has been like, oh yeah, just keep inputting it until you've got enough. This one is like all at once or nothing. Alright, this dock's not full. Alright. So, how does this work? If we inject the stabilizer, we'll move up. And let's see. So that's input 1 stabilizer. Doesn't say. Yeah, it doesn't. Well, it doesn't say what it's called. I'm still trying to remember. I wish I just had like a little name next to each of these things so that I would know what each thing was, because they keep saying energy or whatever, my components or whatever. It's a little confusing with the bars up here. With some careful engineering, you can patch up your damaged body. With scrap components, the result isn't pretty, but I could do it. I could. I'm going to go ahead and inject the stabilizer. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and end the cycle. Let's see if we roll some good numbers next cycle. Pretty darn. Got a 6, 3 3s, which actually we need 3s in order to get the Atigan data, and we can use a 4 and bump that up to a 5. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and take a break there as we head into the newest cycle of the game. If you enjoyed this episode and want to see more of what's coming on the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon to be notified of new videos like this video shows up in the YouTube algorithms. And as always, folks, I will see you in the next game.